Hello, everyone. A little later than I thought. Wasn't counting on an overtime game, but wanted to get back out here. We had a long post game. Texas came too with Vic Schaefer and two players, and of course Tennessee players and Kelly. So taking a little longer to get out here. I will definitely give y'all a minute to get in here if anyone is going to make it. But I definitely wanted to get it started so everybody would know we are gonna try to get this going. It was one heck of a game. Every fan here, every fan watching on television certainly got their afternoon's worth of basketball. 74-70. If you're just tuning in, I'll see people rolling in. The normal, loyal folks are here. 74-70 win in overtime. Just a tremendous effort, really, by both teams. What a game. I mean, I want to give Texas a ton of credit for their defense and the way they play, and then Tennessee a ton of credit for the way they responded and came back in that third quarter to make it a game. They could have folded in that third quarter and did not. Instead, they put on more steam, I guess is what they say in the Neelan Maxims, and they found that steam and they kept going. Joan is here. Credence is here. Trina, Amanda, Beth, Kimberly, Nick, Mary Ann. Jones keeps her blood pressure medicine close. That's a great idea. Cameron is here, brought his little sister. Awesome game, perfect game for having a young fan. If your sister's young, you look young, so I'm assuming your sister is in the game. Nick says, I got my throat sore after that one, I bet. Kimberly said, I feel like they were channeling Tamika's toughness today. I agree. Kelly said after the game she was wishing she could just sub Catchings in a little bit, at least for one play. Amanda said TK and Jordan Horston, oh my God, yeah, what a duo they have become. Jordan Walker, too. What a tremendous effort by her. Renee is here. Trish is here. Valerie said, what fight? I think I've got through most of the comments. But, yeah, there's a lot. It's November. I mean, this game is a signature win early. What will it mean in March? We'll see. See where both teams are. But it's a big win. And it's an important win for Tennessee. One, to come back and win it on their home court in overtime. And two, to do that game in front of so many Lady Vol alum. I mean, I don't know what TV showed. I know several fans were here. I mean, every decade was represented at the halftime. Congratulations for Tamika Catchings and a salute to the alum. Holly Warlick was here. And just tremendous reception for Holly, for all the former Lady Vols. It just shows you how special this program is, how much the legacy of Pat Summitt still matters so much. And Kelly said, I want to win this game anyway because I'm competitive. She wants the team to win, but she really wanted it for these alumni to experience that and watch this team battle the way people are used to seeing Lady Vol teams battle, where you battle to the final second. Jordan Horston. Oh, yeah, Cassie Kushkitawa. She was here. Thank you, Kimberly. Stephanie said it says a lot they were able to get a big win without Ray. I agree, because that could have gutted the team, and they have bounced back from being, just shocked in their season opener, losing Ray in the first half. And then Ray, credit to her on the bench. Ray was a bundle of energy on the bench and encouraging the players. Renee said, was former coach out here for the halftime? Yes, several people who were tremendously connected to the program, particularly when Tamika played, were also here. Debbie Jennings was here. Some of the administrative people who were in place and were here. Obviously, Al Brown was here. And just to show you the overall goodness of Tamika Catchings, when they posed for the official photos after the congratulations and the video they showed, I'm sure they'll put that video up on social media. It's an outstanding video tribute to Kelly. To Tamika. Tamika motioned for Holly to move into the photo and for Al Brown to move into the photo with her, of course, the chancellor and the AD. She reached out to the people who were with her on that journey at Tennessee to be in that photo at center court. So just what a gesture by Tamika, but that's who she is. Jones said, what did Kelly say to the crowd at the end of the game? She was walking past the scores table headed to Tennessee's tunnel and grabbed the microphone and just thanked the fans and in typical Kelly enthusiasm and said, you were the difference. You gotta thank you for being here. You helped us win this game. So she just wanted to make sure the fans knew it. The official, I believe, has a little over 9,000. It's cutting off on the box score. I'm gonna have to look at it online. It sounded like 10 or 11, even 12. I mean, that is the official score, so it was probably right under 10K. I mean, the official attendance, but that crowd was loud. They didn't get rattled. Tennessee didn't get rattled when Tennessee went down in the third quarter. Texas just exploded in the third quarter. Just took it at Tennessee and had Tennessee on their heels. And then Tennessee managed to get it closed down a little bit going into the fourth quarter, and then managed to tie the game in the final seconds. It was just a tremendous game. I'm glad I remembered to hit record before I left the house because I want to watch it again where I'm not having to tweet and take notes and write. I want to pay attention to exactly how they pulled that off in detail at the end. But the crowd was tremendous. They were loud, and Texas closed out that game by missing. They made the final ones when the outcome was over, but they missed 4 straight free throws. Texas doesn't do that. They're an excellent free throw shooting team, and I can't help but think the crowd had an effect on that because it was like shaking loud in here, and that's hard. This is, like I said, early season game. Regardless of the outcome, this is a great game for both teams because you learn so much in a game like this, and it helps you moving forward. Now you've got experience in a big tight game like this against a number 12 team in the country. For Texas, I mean they'll roll on. That's one of the best defensive teams I've seen at Texas in a long time. They are aggressive, they are relentless, and they do not give up on pressuring the ball. They had Tennessee on their heels a lot, and I also want to point out the amount of minutes played by Tamari Key, 39 minutes, 23 seconds. She fouled out late in overtime, or it would have been over 40. For a post player in a game this physical, that is a tremendous stat line. I can't say enough about Tamari Key going 39 minutes and 23 seconds in this game. Obviously, as you've heard by now, I think everybody was tracking it online. She is now the only player in Lady Vol history to have 2 triple doubles in her career. Her final stat line was 18 rebounds, 10 points, and 10 blocks. And Vic Schaefer said basically he compared her to when he had Tierra McCowan, just somebody that completely erases any mistakes on the perimeter at the basket. And he said she'd set the tone defensively for the entire game. And Texas kept trying to go at her and get around her, and she just kept blocking their shots. And after a while, he said that gets you start looking around when you're going in, like where is she? And it affects your shot. So Tamari Key I can't say enough about her at all. The double Jordans, wow. Jordan Walker, when she hit that 3, then that little short range and that mid range, and then that little short jumper in the paint, she helped ignite Tennessee's comeback. She also had 13 points, 5 assists, and 5 boards. And Kelly had mentioned on Monday that Jordan Walker was under the weather. We got to talk to her post game. She still looks very much under the weather and pointed out, and a player obviously can always talk about her own health matters. She was really down with some kind of bug. I mean, you always want to say it's not COVID, obviously, just other things going around now. And she was basically in the bed for 2 or 3 days and needed teammates and staff to help her get, food and just take care of her. And then she comes out here and plays 36 minutes, asked to do a lot, handle the ball, beat the pressure. Jordan Horston, same thing, asked to do a lot, played 37 minutes. Jordan had a career high 28 points, Don't quote me on that. Let me look that up to be sure. 15 rebounds and 3 assists. I mean, just an outstanding effort by the double Jordans and Tamari Key. And I want to point out Alexis Dye, that stick back to tie the game late, her ability to get on the glass. Sarah Puckett, when she hit that three, the place erupted. I think Tennessee took a deep breath. Like, all right, we can do this. Kean Green, tough minutes when she was in. Tess Darby did what she could for the team. Brooklyn Miles came in and forced another 10-second violation in the backcourt. You rarely see that anymore. Now she's done it twice this season in 4 games. Vic Schaefer was on his feet screaming at his player to get moving with the ball, and then she got her right before she got to the half court line. And Joan said the juniors are coming into their own and taking leadership roles. Joan, that's a good point, and it's one we've talked about on this show. That junior year is when things start to come together for you. And sorry, I needed something to drink here. That junior year is when things start to come together. You're older, you're more mature, you're in better shape. You have been in a strength and conditioning program now for 2 years. And you're just a different player. You're more mature. You understand what the coach wants. They have reached that junior step up that we saw with Ray Burrell last season. I know everybody's asking about Ray. Amanda said update on Ray. She was not on crutches. I mean, Tennessee obviously does not give medical updates, so we do not know. She obviously wasn't playing tonight, but positive signs where she was not on crutches. She was on the court pregame, but not doing anything. She was just standing on the court. Sorry, guys. This is a long game. And she was active on the bench. I mean, she's sitting in a chair. I mean, her knee is not, braced and extended out, like with a serious knee injury. You would see a player with a brace and the leg having to be stretched out across the chair. She is sitting in a chair like a regular way you sit in a chair. So Donna Hairston said Ray was walking but not putting much pressure on her right foot leg. Yes, she's not putting full weight on that leg. She's being very careful with it. So I have no idea about a timetable. She is still out as indefinite. The last thing Kelly said is that she's been responding to rehab. So she will not be rushed back, obviously, but she will be back when it is safe for her to be back, whenever that is. Stephanie said this team has grown up already. I totally agree. Adam pointed out triple-double from Key. I'm stoked. Yes, and the only Lady Vol to have 2 in her career. Credence said he talked to Ray after the game. She said she felt good. And Credence, you know this, but if she shared any medical info, just keep it private, just out of respect for the player. Cheryl Ford said, so proud of their mental toughness. That is going to pay such big dividends through the SEC schedule. Cheryl, I agree. I mean, this is what Kelly wanted. She wanted her team challenged early and often. Now you're going to have some games in there that are coming up in December, minus Stanford, of course, and minus this trip coming up to Las Vegas. But in December, you'll have a couple teams that you should be able to win those games without too much. I mean, without getting to the final minute like these games are. And you need those because you need minutes for your bench too. You want to develop those younger players. A game like this, the bench had to shorten. I mean, it was not a game where Kelly could go deep in her bench. But those players who didn't play, Kelly saluted them today for the way they helped this team win, with the way they cheered on their team, uplifted their team, and they will get in games. I mean, it's coming. So Stephanie Staten Gunby said, great game, so proud of them. I think, Stephanie, that is the sentiment tonight. Just proud of this team. I said with 24 seconds to go in regulation, no matter how this ends, this has been a heck of a game for Tennessee and showing that they can compete literally with anyone. Donna said one of the assistant coaches had to keep calling Vic back towards the bench. He was close to half court. Yeah, he ventures out of there a while. The officials don't seem to really enforce that. Probably if you got on the court, they would. The officials had, they had some questionable calls, particularly the one on Jordan going over the back. I mean, Jordan got her back climbed on and got called for a foul. But that was a tough game to officiate because these teams were banging each other. They were going at it. And I thought overall they did about as good a job as they could do. I know Tennessee had a lot of turnovers, but that's what Texas does, and they recovered from them. The free throws got better, and ironically, the clutch free throws at the end won the game for Tennessee. So they've shown some growth there. They need more growth there, but they obviously showed some growth there. I sent a message to Alexis. She was here. She was one of the players honored at halftime. I haven't heard back from her. She may be out with the alumni, having a good time. I should have texted her earlier about maybe doing a show, so I don't think she's going to make it. In fact, it looks like my name says Buck. I can't really tell because I can't see my name up there. That's okay, though. I'll be Buck. Let's see if I can change myself to 2MC. I don't know which shows on the screen. But that's a good win. That's a good game. It's a good game for women's basketball. Adam said, "Let's go, big win. No one had faith in us but us. Let's go." Yeah, when Ray got hurt, you saw a lot of people already doubting Tennessee, doubting Kelly. That's just chatter. It's chatter on the internet. A team will define who it is, always. Danielle said that away from the ball foul by number 5, she took Jordan out and there was no call. I agree. And after Jordan got called for a charge that all she did, she tucked her elbow, should not have been an offensive foul. Kelly called that official over. That official struggled a bit and said, then I want it called on both ends. You could sort of see what Kelly was saying down there. So it was a tough game to officiate, and there were definitely some calls that were a little bit eyebrow raising. Leslie Proud said, "You don't have to reply to this, but the ESPN broadcasters were biased and ineffective." Leslie, I'll watch the game later. Obviously, I don't hear it here, so I'll go watch it and see. Adam said, "Let Ray sit out for about 2 weeks." And she's going to probably be sitting out longer than that, Adam. I don't see her coming back in 2 weeks just based on how she's walking. But I shouldn't even speculate. I'm sorry I did. But I think she may need a little bit more time than that. Like I said, she'll come back when it's safe. She'll come back when she's ready. This team is responding and handling business. So proud of them. This was a huge win. UConn barely beat USF today. I haven't seen that score. That's interesting, Adam. They won by 6. Shows you how tough USF is. Yes, USF, South Florida is hard to play. I mean, just people say, oh, I think they were ranked, 22nd? This is a different women's basketball era now. These teams are tough. And you have very few gimme wins when you take the court. There are better players across the country. There are better coaches across the country. So this is going to be a fun season. And I mean, Darius Green said Stephanie White's commentary was great. Stephanie, I have a lot of respect for Stephanie White, so I'll be curious to hear her. I think Stephanie would, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't listened to it, but I do have a lot of respect for Stephanie White, what she did with the Fever. I know things didn't work out with her at Vanderbilt, but I think she has a good eye for the game. Jones said final score 60-53. I mean, these are November games. That was UConn game. That's what you get in early season. And kudos to these teams out there for playing these games. I mean, a week ago, Texas played Stanford at Stanford. Won that game, of course. Then a week later, they're at Tennessee. Now, that's a series game. Tennessee was there last season. I mean, it's not like that's just how the series worked out. Of course, that game got canceled last season at the last minute, like 3 hours before tip-off because of COVID protocols within Texas. So but that's a heck of a schedule for Texas to embark on, to go to Stanford and then to come here. But what a great back-to-back Sundays for women's basketball. Particularly happy that Tennessee played well on ESPN because that's where you get the eyeballs. People don't keep up with the live streams. People watch the scores. People watch when they're on major network like that. And good for Tennessee. Particularly, I point out again, playing without their leading scorer from last year. Renee said, didn't the other commentator graduate from UTK? Yeah, it's Courtney Lyle. I thought she was trying real hard to not show favor. Courtney's another outstanding outstanding broadcaster. She does an excellent job. So I'll be curious to watch it later. I do think there's a lot of implicit with fans watching it. You're gonna hear every slight to your team. So that can happen sometimes. But again, I am saying this without having watched it. So I don't know. I'll watch it later. Maybe Thanksgiving. Donna said so much parity now. Absolutely. Cheryl said those officials earned their pay with the pace of that game. Yes, they did. That game was fast, even though the score actually it took overtime to get it to the 70s, but I would have put both of these teams in the low 50s. I mean, just knowing what a defensive juggernaut these defenses were gonna do. That sentence made no sense. I'm very sorry. Just knowing how stiff these defenses were, I expected a low scoring game, but a lot of gut checks there. Tennessee didn't have much in the tank, and they, especially both Jordans. I mean, that is a tough assignment to handle that ball against Texas and try to initiate the offense and try to inbound the ball is a struggle against Texas. Horston once again just took over the fourth quarter. Vic said she was a difference maker for the team. I mean, and she was. Jordan just took over that fourth quarter. Gail said, off subject, Maria, but congrats on your new fur babies. Yes, I got two little kittens. Call them house panthers, both little black kittens. Our local animal shelter, Young Williams Animal Center, is overloaded. Dogs, kittens, cats. The shelter is full. So I attended an event fundraiser for them Wednesday and ended up purchasing 2 little tiny kittens, and they're a lot. They're going to be a lot of fun. They're only 8 weeks old, 2 pounds. They're tiny little things. So I can't wait to get home and see them again. I just got them yesterday late afternoon. Amanda said Stanford losing out to Gonzaga. Zag's always tough. Yes, they are. That is a tough team. And here's what Stanford is dealing with. Stanford lost their veteran point guard, obviously, to the WNBA. It is hard to replace a point guard. That is a big adjustment for the team. In college basketball, the point guard sets the tone. The post gets the ball because of the point guard. So that's a big. I think Stanford will figure it out because it is so early. Plus, their new point guard will have to get more minutes and more reps with the team. But what a fun way to start the season. Credence said, did you get them? Yes, Credence, I got the kittens. If anybody needs kittens, please go to Young Williams Animal Center. They have a bunch. Gray ones, tabby ones, black ones, orange ones. You know, orange kitten, go get one. Beth said, Vols up 15 on UNC. Beth, that does not make me happy. I think all of y'all know I'm a Tar Heel fan. But I had a feeling Tennessee was going to bounce back after that Villanova game. I was sort of like, eek. Not the time I'd want to play Tennessee right now, coming off that game. Julie said, these two teams went strong the whole 40-plus minutes. I was exhausted when it ended. Yeah, the fans here, I mean, you could hear them just exhale sometimes, like at a made free throw. I think everybody knows Tennessee's been dicey at the free throw line, and Alexis Dye steps up there and hits 2. Just an incredible response by the team, by the fans. Lady Vol Alum Day. Renee said, thanks for this post-game, Marie. I've got to run. See you Tuesday. I'll see what we're doing this week. I know we got 2 games this week, Friday and Saturday. So let me get back with y'all about what we're going to do this week so we don't run me too ragged before I think Tuesday I will be able to do a show, but we'll see. I'll let y'all know for sure. I'll post it on my Lady Vol Facebook page and Positive Lady Vol page, of course. But just a fun Sunday afternoon. I don't think anybody really was anticipating overtime, but what the heck? Got some free basketball there at the end for the fans who were here. So soccer lost. Yeah, so I was tracking that score. Karen noted soccer. I mean, they lost 3-0. But what a bad bracket. They should never have to have played on Michigan's home field after the season they had. They should have been playing at home. That was some bad seeding And y'all know how I feel about the NCAA and seeding. I didn't know they did it to soccer too. But soccer had one heck of a season. 20 wins, that is hard to do in soccer. So congratulations to soccer for what y'all did all season long. You brought a lot of excitement to the program, to the direction of the program. So it was a heck of a season to watch for soccer. Beth said Alexis is out with all those crazy alums. I want a full report. Yeah, maybe we can get Alexis in Tuesday. Say, all right, Alexis, tell us what really happened. I figured they were all going out, having a good time. I'm leaving me stuck here to work, but that's what I got to do. Amanda said, agree, Maria, terrible bracket. It really was. And also, had they moved on, they would very likely face Florida State, the overall number one seed. Not a bracket they deserved for the season they had, in my opinion. But I'm glad y'all are happy. Tennessee is 4-0. They earned all 4 of those games. We'll see the status of Ray. Obviously, 2 more games coming up. They're going to head to Las Vegas for that thing has a name. Let's see what the South Point Thanksgiving Shootout. Obviously, have 2 games there against Kansas and Oklahoma State. One's on Friday, one's on Saturday. Both are 6:30 p.m. Eastern tip-offs. My understanding is broadcast is, since it is a Flow Hoops tournament, you would have to buy a subscription to Flow Hoops to see it. You can always buy it and then cancel it after one. You get a month and then you cancel it after that 1 month runs out if you don't want to keep paying it all year long. So it's usually worth it. I haven't seen the price yet. I say it's usually worth it. It wasn't that much the last time I had to do it, but I don't know what it is this year. Amanda said, can Ray travel with the team? Based on how I don't know for certain, Amanda, but based on seeing her physically out here and the way she's moving, I would think it would be okay for her to fly, which is great because that's her hometown. But I just want to credit Ray for the energy on the bench, the attitude on the bench, not jumping around, but getting her team fired up, staying engaged in the game. That is hard to do. You're a senior. You get hurt early in the season. And, that's a blow. That's an emotional and a physical blow. So big shout out to Ray Burrell for the way she's handled it. Big shout out to the double Jordans. Jordan Horston just coming into her own in such a big way. She's a big guard with big skills. Jordan Walker stepped up, very under the weather, as she pointed out post-game, and he just gave – they say give your all for Tennessee. Jordan Walker gave her all and then some for Tennessee. And then Tamari Key. And then and as Kelly said, the whole team, whether you played, whether you logged a lot of minutes, whether you didn't, Alexis Dye, that offensive rebound. What did Pat say about rebounding in championships? Tennessee was at one point was behind on the boards, ended up winning the boards 56-41. These are 2 very aggressive teams on the glass. That is a boatload of rebounds, and Tennessee got 56 of them. Karen asked, how's the Texas player that went down? I do not know. That obviously looked like an injury to the shoulder, neck, head area on that last rebound and ball getting everybody wrestling for the ball. And just like I said, just this game was sumo wrestling. It's sometimes this is for high school players watching. This is a contact sport. You better get ready. You want to play at this level, you better get ready. And that's what the WNBA is like. For college players, you want to make that next jump, you better be able to hold on in games like this. Oh, Marianne, that's a great question. What are your observations about the defense Kelly implemented in the fourth quarter? I loved it. Absolutely loved it. They went to that extended 2-3 zone just to get Texas out of their familiar looks. And that also allowed Tamari to center that paint and protect the rim. And Texas, to their credit, they kept going at her. Kept driving in there. That's their game. They're going to try to get to the rim. And Tamari if she didn't block it, she affected it. And the one thing you worry about in the zone is covering the corner, the arc, particularly the corner shooters. You got to get out on them, and Tennessee did a good job with that zone. That was clearly something they've been working on. They may have used it earlier. I don't recall seeing that 2-3 extended earlier. So, shout out to Kelly too. Kelly, believe it or not, on my Twitter, there's still doubters about Kelly. I didn't hear from him today. Imagine that. Kelly she's a tremendous coach. She's a tremendous game day coach, and she knows exactly what direction she wants things to go in. So it's just there's a lot of reasons for Tennessee fans, and my God, have y'all suffered in the last 10, 15 years. There's a lot of reasons to be excited about the direction of Tennessee programs. I mean, football, bowl eligible. I mean, just after everything Tennessee has been through, y'all deserve it. It has been a tough stretch in so many different ways. So I appreciate all y'all coming. I better get some video uploaded, get home, write my game story. I'll be working on that tonight. If anybody click on it, read it, go to 247 Sports. It's Go Vols 247. Appreciate anybody subscribing, clicking on the story, reading the story. Just appreciate y'all support. Keeps writers going too, with the clicks and the fans and the enthusiasm. So thank you all. Thank you guys for coming. I can always rely on several of y'all. I mean, y'all are here every time. For those who may have this been your first one or not every time, welcome. We do this after every game. We'll talk about everything that went down. Obviously, everybody's happy. And everybody have a good and safe Thanksgiving. Be careful out there. And I will maybe see y'all Tuesday. Let me get that sorted out, see if we can do a Buck and 2MC on Tuesday. And then obviously we'll have post games after Friday and Saturday's games. So y'all have a good evening, and I'll see you soon. Peace.